he befriended me. I was cool after that. We go on the playground and play them more. We shut them down. Bam, click, click, click up, clock, clack, ding. Yeah, the real horseshoes off the horse's hoof type of shoe. I'm putting them on the Wrangler. You know, me and Big James we holding it down. Ain't nobody beating us. You know, cause he major in that game, but I was a quick learner. Cause I would love the fact that he embraced me. He was one of the baddest ones in school, and he embraced me and befriended me. You know what I'm saying? So I was happy as hell. You know, to be truthful about it. You know, so I really wanted to learn quick, cause I wanted to bag him up too. In my own way, hell, I had his back. I wanted him to know that, even if it was through horseshoes. I wanted him to know I had his back. So I adapted and developed my turn real quick. And it was a wrap. Me and him never faced off. You know, we just played teams the whole time I was there, the whole year I was there. But that was the most fun. Befriending Big James Phillips, man, and him teaching me how to pitch horseshoes, you know, was the biggest highlight of that year, you know, in the country, you know. And that was I was 10 years old. And so finally got through the first 10 years. You know, that was kind of the end of the first decade of my life, as I would like to, you know, transition into the second phase, the second 10 years of my life. And to start out with, by then we had moved to a bigger house, a big old house. You know, it had like a gigantic den, a gigantic living room. I mean, it was an old house. Everything in it was like wood. You had them big old wooden doors that divide the living room from the den. Them big, tall, long wooden doors that slides into the wall. And you could bring them out and close and cut, you know, section them off. Then they had some on the other side, you know, where it went into a bedroom, you know, because the fireplace was in the living room. So you can close the den off, you know, and the bedroom just be, you know, the bedroom and the living room with the fireplace. You can just, you know, create a whole new ambiance, you know. I mean, it was an old ancient house, you know. It had seen its last days, you know, but we brought it to life. We brought that old joker back to life. You know, even though it was on his last leg, we brought that big old, because we were so happy we had some space. We can breathe, you know, even though we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms up in that mother. You can imagine like 13, 15 people, you know, now coming from like a 3-bedroom to a 6-bedroom with 2 big dens and living room. You can sleep on the couch. You know, you can find some beautiful, you know, some space to get around. You put a pallet somewhere and go to sleep if you want to. You got space. We can breathe up in this big old joker, you know. So we love that house, man. We love that house. It was a wraparound porch, you know. Even though it was in the inner city, it was kind of like in a little off, like cul-de-sac, kind of almost corner of a section of the city in the area that it was at. So it really wasn't in busy traffic area, you know. That's what really made it cool, you know. Big old backyard, big old front yard. Of course, I had to cut them all the time. You know, it wasn't no fun raking all them leaves up that big mug, but, you know, we found fun in it, you know. Once you rake them big leaves, a big old gigantic pile, then you climb the tree and dive down in the mud. You know, you just find ways to have fun. You had to be creative. We didn't have technology like they got today, and, you know, all the social medias and all that. We had to create. We had to be inventive, innovators. You know what I'm saying? You know, to have fun. You know, we made, you know, skateboards. We made skateboards. We made scooters with skate wheels. You know, we made go-karts with skate wheels and other wheels. you know, and so tree houses, and the kids don't know nothing about that stuff, you know. Uh, we had to hand make that with the hammer and nail and go find the wood, and you know we had to make those things and have some fun, you know, taking a billow pad and putting it at the end of a metal hanger as you stretch it all the way out, you know, and then you light it and sling it around and create sparkles like the 4th of July, you know what I'm saying? Tying a rope on a June bug leg and let him fly around while you got the thread on his leg. Those are the type of things, man, that we used to do for fun. You know, we was creative. We was imaginative. We had nothing but our imagination. And yet we found a way to create fun. And we can do the same thing today. Just stop and pause for a moment and tap into your imagination and create some fun for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing more important than us. Not any material thing you can ever ascertain or accomplish in your life. There's nothing more valuable than the human experience. And when you just in the raw, coming from nothing, and you together and y'all creating stuff together and loving each other, that's how it was back in the day. It don't get no better than that, man. We have all this stuff y'all got now. You know what I'm saying? But we had each other. And we had fun, block parties, you know, shut a block down, bring the boom boxes and stuff out, fire, cut up, turn on, had the fire department, turn on the fire hose, let the water run, the kids running through the water and stuff. We barbecuing and stuff, you know, in the block, in the neighborhood, everybody out, you know, everybody know each other on the block from across the street, down the streets, next door, other door, you know, so we knew everybody, we knew each other. We loved each other. We had fun with each other. And you hear the common theme? Each other. We had each other. We didn't have much, but we had each other. And it was fun. It was fun. Now we all striving for things and have abandoned one another in chasing of things. When we used to embrace one another, when we didn't have things, and it was all good and it was beautiful. I wish y'all young people today could witness a glimpse, just a taste of it. Maybe I'm just learning about the HBCUs because of Deion Sanders has brought so much attention to the HBCU community. Those homecomings, you know, in the tailgating, you know, of our people, all, you know, thousands of us cooking out and having fun and talking trash about our teams and just having a good time. It's kind of reminiscent of what I'm talking about. How much fun we can have with each other. You know, maybe you need to go to an HBCU game or a homecoming, you know, and have that personal black experience. You know, we invite all to come and enjoy us, you know, because we always have embraced all. It all hasn't always embraced us. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, even today. If anybody got a reason not to want to embrace nobody else, is us. And yet we still, despite it all, still love and embrace everybody. We struggle to find ourselves again. But it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. I know that for a fact. It's coming. It's a beautiful thing. It's coming our way. It's going to make up for everything we ever been through. It's going to be all right. And everybody going to benefit. And I mean everybody in the world is going to be a benefactor of it, benefit from it. It's going to be a powerful thing. I have that vision. I have that foresight. I see things like that. But back to, making that transition into the next decade, around age 11, my grandmother, when I got back from the country, and got back to the city of Memphis, my auntie in Chicago used to come, and every now and then she'd take a few of us back up for the summer. This summer, I was one of the lucky candidates to go to Chicago. She always take her kids, come back and get her kids. She'd take one or two of the other kids, or at least more likely to take one of the other kids to have an experience away from our home situation. And give my grandmother some relief, if you will. So we go to Chicago, and it was fun. I must admit, my Aunt Lily Mae, I really appreciate her for doing that. I remember going, going to the beaches in Chicago on Lake Michigan. In the summertime, I remember going to Jewtown at night, with the big old waterfall, lit up, the wishing well, we walking around, just, exposing us to different things, in Chicago. We was like, I think she stayed on the south side, on Justine. I think the street was Justine, on the south side, And that was a very good, it was a good experience. They still had gangs, so you really couldn't venture too far out of your little neighborhood, because you might, run into another gang territory and find yourself in a lot of trouble, on the beat down. They were serious about that, As a matter of fact, I got ran home one time, and excuse me, I ventured a little too far, from my hood where we was at. I ventured a little too far. A couple of them kids let me know, we gonna holler at you, you come over here. So I hurry up and got gone. I didn't want no trouble. I didn't know if they was gangster disciples, or I don't know, it's the other gang, in Chicago. I can't remember of it now, but it probably was one of those two big gangs way back then in the 70s, And so there was one time me and my cousins was playing, you probably don't know, everybody don't know, but Chicago has some unique houses.